and welcome back to the Xfinity Analyst Desk here at the Intel Esports Arena in Burbank, California. We're going into our last map of the night, and believe it or not, we're going to see some Nuke. Between Splyce and Misfits, it's sure to be a great showing between the two teams. And now to bring into the fold the guys that you've had here all night long, James and DeBears.
Hi.
What's up, man? How you
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Good. I'm just glad not to be going up on Nuke against Misfits right now, who looks like they're rolling full steam ahead after winning, what, like 15 of the last 17 rounds of that match?
Full steam ahead, and you know, seeing an Amanek or a Shazam, both of them coming alive at the same time is a hard stopping point for a lot of teams, I do believe. Looking at this one though, Nuke, a map that we've seen more and more of. Let's talk a little bit about some of the trends and maybe metas and progressions we can expect to see on Nuke.
Well, on this map, there's definitely a lot of outside play. A lot of people love the two smokes, the very common, very well-known smokes that black off the outside stairs, take control of the lower stairs, and it forces the CTs to adjust and rotate.
The ones that land next to the red box, right? And then they have that third setup smoke that helps them cross to the red box?
Depends on the team, but yeah, sometimes they do.
Yeah, I think that was like, I mean, who cares who originally did it, because nobody really knows, right?
Nobody really knows, but what we do need to know right now is who you're pulling for on this matchup.
Who I'm pulling for, or who I think will win?
I think they almost go hand in hand, but I'm gonna let you pick. It's your it's your plank. You walk it.
So I'm pulling for Splyce, but I think Misfits will win.
Okay.
I think Misfits will win as well. I want to see Shazam up from the floor into the hut.
Oh, play the back silo angle.
Yeah, what's up?
He's gonna be styling.
Well, looking at those Betway odds, I would say that Misfits are certainly the ones to look out for going into this matchup. Let's bring our commentators into the fold and kind of get your guys' thoughts. What are you thinking, guys?
I mean, I think we're probably going to see a pretty similar result to map number 1, especially considering that we go over to Nuke now. I feel like with Shazam kind of coming alive towards the end of the first map, that he'll really follow this through on Nuke and kind of show up as well here.
Yeah, and Shazam's putting bullets in, so that's a really big deal. I'm really doubtful of Semphis and opping. He's just not having a lot of impact.
Not giving him a break today, are you?
No, no. Like it was like the last map I saw. It was just like, I'm not sure.
We didn't really see much of him opping, to be completely honest. Like, I can't recall him like really hitting any remarkable shots with the op, or many at all, to be honest.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, that's actually a good point now that I think about it.
Yeah, it's just so expensive is the only thing.
Well, we're jumping into it here now, as Misfits is going to be jumping onto the CT side to start things off, and that's probably very, very good news for them, considering how we expect Shazam to show up on this map. And for Splyce, well, they're going to have to start things off on the T side. They waste no time running around outside, as Semphis might not be able to do any work with the op, but he does do quite a bit of work with the pistol at the start, taking down Shazam at the beginning. Probably one of the better pistol players in this server at the moment. Takes him down, Sick with a trade, but right after that one, Sick gets a second. Devo Duvek and Sean get 3 more, and there you go. Quickly, we see the Splyce roster falling down and Misfits controlling the pistol.
These are two teams that do try to keep it interesting on pistol rounds, and it's funny because Misfits keep it interesting on their CT side pistol rounds as well as their T sides. They always have really cool setups, nice shots. However, just straight up from 2 or 3 players on Misfits to put Splyce in now a saving position, and that was was it that Misfits won both pistols on map 1? I know I
think so, yeah.
They won that ladder setup on CT side, and I think they might have won the first pistol as well, but I can't remember for sure. Yeah, that might be 3 in a row, and now Splyce are saving, or they're spending some money, but not all of it.
And Shazam just going to play around the aircon to start off. He's also got Sean to support too if it's needed. Davey, he's got the position up on top where this walkway used to end, but he's ready to swing around if need be here to get himself into the fight a bit better. Nope, not going to happen. That's where Sean's support comes in to save the day. But Mitch quickly trades onto that, taking him down. And Semphis with the scout in hand, knocking out Shazam directly afterwards. Devo Duvek finding one, but Drone also doing a bit of work with the CZ. Devo right back into the fray, though. And now Mitch just trying to line up a deagle shot if he can find one. After everything's quieted down, we do end up in another 2 versus 2. With Amanek pushing forward, if he can get Drone into the open, then it should be a pretty easy time to knock him down. He's basically one-tappable by either of those CTs. Just a matter of finding him, though, and Mitch playing just as quietly down at the bottom of Secret.
Flash over high and far, and actually crosses in front of Amanek somehow. But Devo Duvek is down, the second Frenchman of the roster. He's got a great spot to watch this from, and Drone with low HP is obviously going to use himself as bait, but that doesn't really help their case too much. It's going to be really difficult to plant here with no smoke at all.
Mitch is going to be sneaking in here, but he's spotted the second he peeks out from Mold Control there. Almanac is going to be able to take him down, and Misfits secure the second with some losses in there, obviously. And now with Splyce coming up onto a full save, we would expect Misfits to have a bit of a cleaner round here.
Yeah, it got a little sketchy. There was like the kills, the trades that happened outside of Mini that probably shouldn't have went down the way they did. With good pistol kills from Splyce, they'll be happy about that economic damage. They want to keep it up into this next round. One problem is that Misfits on their rebuys are going to not invest in very expensive gun because they know that that was the armor buy. Now they can expect to have a save on their hands. And yeah, here's Sean Zeros with the MP9, happy to take as many fights as he can.
And Sean going in, actually doesn't get that second kill. Lines up some good damage at the very least, but Almanac at range is going to do most of the firepower here. 3 quick kills for him. Davey trying to sneak away inside his secret here, but if he tries to go back up top now, only death will await him as Devo Duvek is going to be pushing downstairs looking for his kill. Davey hopes he can get something with a close-up position, but not going to happen.
Actually looked like it was a lot of damage, but yeah, the headshot to 49 health. Splyce move on to a full buy, the first of the half for them. Drone changes hands with the op to Semphis. Let's see if he can get something done on the T side. And it's going to be difficult though. Like T side opping on Train and Nuke, it's very hard for your opper to get kills, like no matter how good you are, just because you're kind of like a fool to give up that opening as a CT. But there can be opportunities created with utility. Oh, all the smoke's being used instantly. It looks like a quick outside take. They are very low right now, and they haven't actually used any of their utility to do anything.
They got that door busted open too that you can see, so they just have lobby control though, so that's pretty much it.
They used all their nades and got lobby control. They
had the wall and everything. Why didn't they? Did anyone go down? No one went down secret.
I think they wanted to. They busted open the squeaky door, hoping to catch like a rotate in a mini. Didn't secure that pick, but beyond that, I don't even know where they were planning to go from there, and now don't have any nades to execute with.
So Almanac, the pop flash is actually going to be pretty successful. He's not going to take this fight, though. It's still way too risky in that situation, even with a successful pop flash there. He's going to fall back. He's going to go downstairs. Davey is going to hit the first kill finally. Patience works out, I suppose, after setting up all those smokes outside. And it gets him at least the 1 kill against Sean. But still plenty more to go as Splyce continue to surprise a little bit here. They're not going to go down ramp. Instead, they go and they take hell control. Shazam not even waiting inside of heaven anymore as he just assumes that they're going to be trying to take full map control. Waits down below by Aircon. He's only going to be able to get 1 though. Mitch trades him out a second later, and that opens up heaven for these guys to be able to push inside. Misfits is still looking around trying to figure out just where exactly all of these T's are positioned at. They should get the idea in just a couple seconds here as they finally move in, taking that A control, planting the bomb here too, just leaving Almanac and Sick trying to retake 2v4. I don't even know if they're going to attempt it though. More than likely they're going to just fall outside and save their guns.
They definitely went to the best place they could go to with such low utility at ramp. I mean, they also were hoping that there was only going to be 1 person there, and he was there just to spot and fall off. So with control of it, Davey also doing a really great job with those entries. Got 2 clean 1v1s, was able to put them both together, and that opened up the round for Splyce. That definitely could have got hairy though, considering their lack of options after that execute. I'm kind of curious what their thought process was, or what they intended to do with that.
Yeah, but ultimately they escape. 2 players only left alive there, despite that starting off as a 2v4. Mitch and Roka will make it away, and Sick and Almanac also get out of that fight. Sick even upgrading his auto shotgun into an AK in the middle of that exchange too. So there shouldn't be too big of a deal, because Sick can drop for Sean, and the others can just buy on their own regard. So they should still be okay to full buy here, but it's after this one that Misfits will find themselves broken.
Yeah, so this is actually a backring round for both teams. Very, 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 very poor, so incredibly important round in the half. And a quick look outside to, I think, assist Semphis in his op pick. He'll get boosted up and try to clear out Big Garage. But there's actually no one playing outside. There's a couple ways to play outside, and they sometimes involve not actually being there at all. Sometimes you just need to have someone walk secret, then you know that secret can't get taken, even if there are smokes outside. Sometimes you can play heaven in secret. You can play back at Big Garage watching the upper rafters and just listening. But sometimes you don't actually have to be there in their face.
Devo Duvek and the others, they've got a bit more of a solid stack set up in the upper site this time after being surrounded here in the last round. Splyce starting this round off very, very quietly though, not making a whole lot of movement. Finally starting to creep up on ramp, and it's going to be Almanac once again to contest things here. However, he only holds the position from Hell Hall, so peeking out to it though, catches drone looking the complete wrong way. And there was just no support available to trade that back, so Almanac safely falls away after picking up that kill. Should have been able to figure out that there was more than one person inside of that area too, so we can start to see some of the CTs rotating down to get into that position. Start to retake there, but Davey is going to knock it out again. Leads the entry so far for Splyce as he gets another first kill. And they take that control, bringing it down to a 4v4. They still have 2 up top though, so they've got to work on rotating these guys downstairs. Especially after Sempus comes alive with the op a little bit there, he's going to be able to find Devo. The op for the CT side still rolling though in the hands of Shazam, and more moving in from the vents. Davey being spotted there. They should be able to crunch on him because you can see up top they still have Sean outside too. They should be able to wrap around and take him down. But no, Davey's watching. Doesn't matter, though. No bullets connected against him. And now they've evened out the score again. 3v3. There's Shazam knocking out the doppelganger from the other side. Takes out the Opper. Mitch does trade, finding Sean before he can fully get downstairs here. And the other two waiting in the halls. Shazam is going to be able to catch one of them, take it down Roka. Mitch peeking back out. They still haven't started this defuse. They're going to need to. As Mitch needs a peek into it, they jump off the bomb. There's no time left anymore. And Mitch, with that final kill, seals the deal. And we will indeed see Splyce win out the round.
Oh, wow. Shazam just got out of there really early. Sick was flashed, and I think they just felt like, all right, there's absolutely no time to win, and he decided to run. Sick started to fight, and that was it. Good flashes, though, from that in that 1v2 situation. Delayed long enough, and Shazam, I think, hit a really nice shot on someone in control because I'm pretty sure he was just jump spotting the window. Ultimately, a kind of a strange round, the way they were able to lurch their way into inner, but it ended up working out really well. That's a problem for Misfits in opening now, as Splyce are on the road to evening up. As we mentioned, a very important round as now Misfits have to save. Could have been Splyce in this situation at a much larger deficit.
That's so for Misfits here. They don't end up with much. Just that single UMP on Devo Duvek. Besides that, it's just going to be a deagle on Almanac and default pistols for everybody else. Sempus goes hunting for shots early on here. Does spot Shazam sitting way in the back by CT spawn. No actual connection, though, as they continue to slow play things, similarly to the last round here. Just slowly kind of crunching into outside. And I believe in a second, are they going to head into Mini or transfer this over to Secret, I believe there. Actually, no, they might just swing all the way through outside from the looks of it now as they're heading through the warehouse and everything too. But little do they know there's a second player waiting at Heaven. 2 players actually sitting up in Heaven, excuse me. The question, though, is if they're actually going to be able to get anything done with this, as they're really looking to slowly just move around and knock these guys out one by one. They finally found their first mark. It's against Sick. Shazam, though, is allowed to sneak off that kill. He did miss Roka jumping up top towards Heaven here, though, and on top of the aircon, so Roka's going to be able to trade that out, and then Davey follows it through. They get one there. Devo, though, with that UMP, is able to line up a double kill for himself. Heavy cost to his own HP, but look, he got the bomb down in the process, and that got flung inside of the room, too. So it's in a really good position. It's not like he's going to just inch forward and get it. The nade, though, is going to finish off Devo Duvek. So that opens up Heaven once again and leaves only Almanac alive, with just a deagle to play with here. However, there's only 13 seconds left to plant the bomb. They really don't have time to run this downstairs. So if Almanac can sit here, he might be able to stop this. He's lurking back around, goes to that first kill, gets it, and is going to be able to take down his opponent. As Sempus tried to prioritize the plant, he succeeded in getting it, but Almanac will still get the clutch.
Yeah, super well done by Almanac. Just enough time to pull that off. Waited for the defuse as well, or the plant, excuse me, where his teammates' hands were busy and absolutely no time left to get off of it. So that's exactly what he needs to do. And it looks easy, but you'll oftentimes see players mess that up by just a few moments. So, and obviously really nice spray here from Almanac. Good to see it, or Devo Duvek, excuse me. Good to see it from his perspective. 2-4. We have Splyce on just a very light buy after Misfits steal it back on the eco. Tough situation, as it seemed like Splyce were, because they won that 4th round, were in such a good position to come back into it, build some economy, get themselves to a rifle round, but then lost to basically a half buy / eco.
That Molly kept blooming it, so it kind of brings Mitch's HP down very low. Still going to be able to sneak through, but Devo Duvek drops the bomb. I think it got recovered pretty quickly, but now Sean continuing to drop players. Sick just guessing, though, as he's blinded, but eventually does get the kill on Sempus. And now Davey and Rogue are really just trying to rush the plan here for Splyce, and they succeed in doing that at the very least. Davey's going to be waiting inside of Shed now. He's got the opportunity for a kill, and that's actually really clean for a Glock shot. Takes down Sick. Sean trades on Aroka downstairs. They should be defusing that bomb in a second. So they are going to defuse it, but Davey at the very least does some damage from up on top.
Yeah, that's pretty good. 2 kills, very clean, barely took any damage, even though they're both rifles. A couple of nice headshots from the Glock, and good economic damage dealt along with the bomb plant for Splyce. Round 8 now, we have an op in the hands of Sempus. Once again, we're going to have an op in the hands of Shazam to match, and overall economy is still quite low for Misfits, even though they were able to steal back that eco because of that damage done. So pretty even playing fields. Like, I think both teams are still at a huge risk right now of losing one and having to save twice.
Well, we are going to see slower opener from Splyce once again as they spread their players out all across the map, and Sean taking a little bit of a risk this time too. He's pushed up to the edge of the wall here. I don't think they're aware of him currently. There's a small chance Davey might have seen either a shadow or something like that, but I don't think it actually happened. So they're going to push forward. It's all a bit based on whether they decide to check it or not, and Davey does indeed look to it. So he's going to be able to find Sean, the first kill of the round, once again going his way, but Shazam is able to quickly trade that back as he gets out from the warehouse there and takes down Davey just a few seconds after he took down Sean. Shazam also wrapping back in here just in time to smokes it out, but actually I don't think he realized that they were about to push it, so they just go right through that smoke, and now they ramp control.
Yeah, that opening kill, I feel feels a little rough just because the situation they had. They could have had Devo Duvek like watching Sean's angle a lot better, and could have either got that kill or taken attention away from him in that close spot and kept him alive. But straight through the smoke, no good. Drone making sure to shut that pressure down immediately. Good stuff.
Shazam trying to swing it. Oh, nicely done. Flicks onto Mitch. Takes him down. Re-evens the numbers. Hoping for someone else to peek him over here at the very bottom of the ramp too, but that's not going to be happening. Everyone from Splyce is hunkered down now. Shazam's going to trade out the guns over to the AK, try and play this out. Splyce are kind of cornered. That's the only thing. They've taken a bit of a risk here. It hides them a lot better, but it also gives them a lot less to play off of here. But Semphis firing off one with the Yacht is going to be able to get that. Shazam pushes in, gets that kill. Fails to expect the second player here though, and now taken down by Roka. Only Sick remains. He knows he's not going to clutch this. Still gets tagged on the way out though. Down to 14 HP. Goes into the last second. Looks at the first one. Can't get the second one. He is going to die to the explosion, but at the very least brings it down to one player for Splyce.
Yeah, I like that. There was no way he was going to be able to run away. Would have had to run behind the vent, which is just as close as where he was there. So for him to go get those kills made a lot of sense. And yeah, this is such a weird, crazy shot. Like it just goes like up into the right and then down. Drops the hammer on him.
It's like writing a cursive letter.
It was a cool, yeah, writing a cursive letter. That was a cool. It was a cool like double shadow setup where you get that one kill, you're not going to expect anybody to play double shadow and lower, so, and they're both being useful at the same time, which is nice.
Roka already cleaning up one kill, however, against Shazam this time. I think Misfits tried to play a bit more aggressively. So we're caught pushing out, and down will go Shazam. Nice and early into the round. Devo still with an op presence, though, obviously. So we're going to see if they can work anything with that. Really expecting an upper play to happen here, but Splyce have not necessarily been big fans of these direct upper plays that we often see other teams focus their entire T-sides around. It's been a lot of ramp and outside pressure from Splyce for the most part here. And this round's going to be all quiet from them. After this first kill from Roka, they don't make a single sound across the map here. They just have a little bit of pressure coming outside from Davey, but besides that, the other 4 players are sitting inside or around lobby.
I think they're anticipating a lobby crunch, but because they have this op, they want to make sure that someone can go and pick it up and give themselves as many chances to win. And there's no way for like a lobby crunch to be involved in any, or an op to be involved in any lobby crunch. So, but we have seen Misfits try to do that, and that's why Splyce seem to be taking this round so carefully.
Davey finding another pickup here. Sick close up inside of the shed. Gets one, but quickly traded out by Mitch. Sean also got a kill against Davey too. And now that op comes back in again to play. Devo Duvek picking up the kill into Mitch. Sean spraying it a little bit late on that spray, unfortunately, so he doesn't catch anything. With only 20 seconds left, Splyce aren't going to be given much of an option. They have to run back. They still have the bomb outside of lobby, too. I only just realized this now, which means they're going to have to delay this by quite a bit. This is going to be close, actually. It's a good thing they don't have any presence in the site for the CTs right now. Otherwise, this could have been stopped very easily. In fact, look at this. They just barely make it with like a second or 2 in excess.
That would have been quite exciting. Okay, so they end up smoking a mini, which is really, really good. Now they can just focus on their other choke points. 2 players coming out of heaven, and Roka's up top, so more than a difficult spot to be in.
Yeah, Roka's going to spray into this. He actually doesn't get that first kill, but correction on the re-peek there. We'll take down both Devo Duvek and Sean to give Splyce their 4th. 1 away from the tie now, and Misfits are not going to be buying here.
Yeah, now we'll see if Misfits try to do something similar to what they would do on a regular eco round. And here, so watching Roka spray once again. Okay.
So just P250s, we see like 1 HE grenade there for Sean. That's about it. Should be a pretty straightforward round for Splyce unless there's some big mess up on that T side. Move quickly into the lobby, probably hold for a couple of moments here just to make sure that nobody from Misfits pushes into them. And then after that, they'll be free to go wherever they want to on the map, basically.
Davey with the Mac-10. Ready to try to scout, I think. Ready to just jump out by himself, gets rid of his utility early. So that it actually does something. And they've actually shied Misfits away into lower once again. A lot of focus on outside, but no smokes here.
And then Davey just going to flash for a second time just to make sure he doesn't get thrown off by anything on the way in. The quick crossover to Hell, too. Won't take it downstairs just yet. Making sure that nobody's going to be surprising them with a quick push back inside. Even rechecks it. I think he saw someone that time. Not entirely sure, but whatever he's seen, it's enough to reaffirm him to go back inside of Hell and look for the pickup on the kill. And there you go. Finally a frag for them. Let's take down Devo Duvek. Not going to see anyone pushing outside of that, though, as Splyce is focusing all of their efforts on the lower site play. They'll be able to get in, plant the bomb, no problem at all. And for Misfits, there's not really a hope of a retake at all here. So one player sitting in that side hall, Amanek, to look see if he can get a pickup or two. Actually is allowed to get outside of the window room, so tries to sneak back in after he picks up that kill, but not going to be allowed to get away with that. Drone trades him out pretty quickly. And yeah, like I was saying before, there's just not really room for these other three to do anything.
Yeah, they're keeping it really simple, and tackling things together. Again, Misfits are going to be looking forward to the next round to see what they can get done. Definitely a big point of weakness, as you've pointed out already, is that their lower is typically open for business, and Misfits rotations have been challenged in that way. So will Splyce try to hit it again? Will they try to go upper next round? It's kind of up in the air. They definitely want to be able to say that they can hit both sides. It's, I think, important for the confidence of your team on T side to say, like, we have these options if need be. And you know, the more times they test it, the more likely you would assume that Misfits will be able to adjust. And it's kind of up to them right now to put them to the test. But they don't even have that much money. I don't know if they have like full buys, including Molotovs and stuff like that. So let's see if they try to do something a little bit more aggressive to get that opening kill first. I think that's what I'd like to see. David is actually holding onto the Mac-10.
So we are going to see Splyce a lot faster this time, which is weird because it's on a gun round, so you expect a little bit of slower play, but it looks like they're just going to bustle straight through, and Davey, he's ready to take the fight against Sean. Finds him out hiding inside of this entrance to Secret, and is going to waste no time taking him down. However, he'll need a swift end when he tries to go across the hall down here. And that is where he's going to get found out by Devo Duvek. Rest of the team, though, not so convinced on pursuing his teammate who just went downstairs. They're actually all going to fall back into the lobby, it looks like.
I don't like this. Like, I don't like when you, like, if they were going to, it shows that they were trying to commit to outside because Davey ran outside, but they all followed and no one was there to hold lobby. So now they've decided to fall off of outside, is what's clearly like a mid-round adjustment. They have to come back and clear every single angle, which burns time off the clock. And then they're in a position where they set up for something that they weren't thinking about doing. And mid-round adjustments are fine, but all they had to really do to give themselves an out in the round is leave one person in lobby to hold things down.
So they're getting ready here now. Multiple Molotovs getting tossed into the inner bomb site. However, they're not actually going for it. It's a bit of a fake with the utility. And now Amanek sits here ready to defend it, but the first spray is not on point at all. Has to fall back over here a little bit towards the Hell hallway. Sees them jumping down. But again, no connections here. However, when going inside, one of the players doesn't have their guns out. It's a good thing the drone's there for a quick trade. But also Misfits is going to have to quickly rotate downstairs, and Molly is in the way to the vents entryway. They can't immediately go over towards that. They have to go over towards Decon instead of trying to push him from that direction. Smoke goes in. Drone and Sick will trade some blows, but Sick brought down so low. And also Semphis knocked out Amanek. It's all on Sick. However, he finds one player out in the corner, taps the bomb to try and get Roka into the open. He should know where he's at now. He's going to hug the left side. Unfortunately, he's stuck inside of the new Toxic room, and it's just so difficult to push him back out. Saw him crossing, and Roka now knows where Sick is, so he's just going to spray through the door, knock him out, and secure another round for Splyce.
I gotta assume that Misfits are gonna have a long talk about their defending against lower rushes and stuff like that. I mean, they did get that opening kill with Davey with the Mac-10, so that was big. They have some information there. It was cool that they came back. And if they just had left someone in lobby, it would have been a lot cleaner. But they came back. They threw kind of a full nade set into upper to hold rotates there, and they did keep 2 people in the site dedicated, and then ran ramp, which they've been abusing over and over again. So really putting, I think it was Devo Duvek who's playing ramp to the test, and hoping that he gets his kill. But he's pretty much playing it very shyly, just like trying to get a few bullets in. If he misses, then falls off, stays alive. But the rotates aren't there to assist or to complement him.
So again, just a bit of a stack on inside there. But also, I think adding a second player to the mix on the ramp room too, since Splyce have pushed it like every other round essentially at this point. They've got Deagles, they're going to press their luck. They tag Drone, just not enough to get the kill, and now it's on Amanek, who's sitting outside here to try and pick up a kill himself. Shazam finding 1-2 against Davey. So 1-for-1 trade to start us off, along with the additional damage on the Drone. Amanek in position, but missing the shots. Drone will take him down, and they'll look for another kill here too. Shazam sits inside. They took down Sick outside, and there you go, just a quick cleanup for Splyce as they DM their way through another round, up to 7 rounds.
Yeah, that's just it. They DM their way through the round. They're keeping it very simple, and they're doing a great job on these anti-ecos. Like, lots of players alive, tons of money in the bank right now, can buy their way through this half pretty much, whereas Misfits are going to be buy save. And yeah, they can kind of keep doing what's working. Like I don't think they're gonna face too much more. They're not gonna face anything quite that different at ramp. Wow, wow. Okay, you're really wow. Oh my God, that was the heaviest commitment I've ever seen.
So, I guess it doesn't really lead to much. I think he might have spotted a player up on top, and now look at this, Sean moving in. It's all fallen apart for Splyce in a matter of seconds. Now all of a sudden, it's a 4v1 with just Mitch left alive, and he's trying to flank around through hell to head up towards heaven, which I'm not even sure. Yeah, Amanek's outside, so maybe he'll get caught by this. Yeah, Mitch heard him walking around, so we should be able to walk out there and find him at least. No, it doesn't even get that kill either. Amanek turns around at just the last second and spots him to win that, and then he drops down to get the quick trade on the AK there. So finally, another round for Misfits. They needed it too, to be able to keep the scoreline a little bit close.
So as critical as I have been of Semphis, in that situation, I was like at first, okay, if they're set up in a default, that's really weird that he's committing so hard with the SOP to like fish for this one kill when he's almost certainly going to die. Like he knows he's going to die. But if he was trying to assist in the execute and he's sent to go hut, he's got to make something happen. Doesn't want to be like left alive in the lobby with nothing to do as his teammates go out squeaky and get killed from Mustang. So I think I can see why he was trying to chase that kill so heavily. If he ended up getting one of the 2 kills upper, that could have been the round right there. But good counter needs obviously from Misfits is the main point. So good hold on upper.
Spin bot. But it is a pause from Splyce, so they're just taking a minute to center themselves here as we go into the final couple rounds of the half to see who will be able to push ahead.
I really think that they could have just tried to go lower again. I think from our perspective, it looks a little different because we can see that Misfits just have absolutely no answer for them holding on to lower. But from Misfits' perspective, they don't have any answers. They haven't shown us or Splyce that at all. So yeah. In upper rush just to keep it different, but at the same time, their upper has been pretty good.
Yeah, so it should be getting unpaused in a second here. Splyce's time should be running low. This is online, so I think the pauses are a little bit longer. I think it's a 2-minute rule here. Not entirely sure, but yeah, there we go. Back into the action now, and we get to see if Misfits, with that one round, are going to be having enough power to push them back into the lead again. They could still kind of swing back here and take it 8-7, but Splyce relatively consistent at trading these rounds, so we'll see if that'll be the case. Some early HE grenades, though, doing actually a decent amount of damage. Mitch, I think, getting hit for like max HE damage on 1 grenade down to 48, and Semphis also getting hit by about 15 or so on that one. Same for Drone. So decent damage there as it does about 80 overall. Now flashes against them too. They did set up the smoke wall here, so it's going to let them push on the secret. They've been weird with these smoke walls, though. Most of the time they haven't fully committed at all. Sean just catches Roka right through it too. Nicely found. Looking for another one. They did actually spot that player because of the molly sitting on the ground. So Semphis not only burns, but I think he gets hit by 1 or 2 extra bullets. He's down at 38 HP after crossing, but they do make it inside. However, it's not looking like they want to stay inside.
Is Amanek on the rafters outside? Yeah, he is.
He's trying to duck, though, because he knows they're surrounding him. So he's waiting for Davey to peek. They confirm he's sitting there. Now Amanek's in a really tough spot, though. He's going to have to deal with Semphis from down below, too, if he backs up far enough. Tries to line up the shot against Davey, but Davey will indeed get the better of him, taking down Amanek and trading back the kill, bringing us into a 4v4.
That was really nice. That was really nice from Davey with that patience, and I think he called Semphis to watch that Raptor if he fell back. It obviously could have got ugly if Davey ended up dying, but he really made it awkward for Amanek in a position where he's like, I'm gonna sit here. It's really dangerous, but I'll probably get the first kill because they won't expect someone to just be like this aggressive on Rafters.
Splyce are going to quickly swing into A, where it actually looks relatively open. They move in, though. Sean's ready for the hit, but not Sick. He goes down. Sean with the second pickup, and another one, and another one.
Okay.
Hey.
despite the low HP, switching over as well. Look at that. He had no bullets left in the chamber and only 2 bullets left over in reserve. Beautifully done.
What the hell, dude? He got the ace. That was nuts. He was supposed to be dead here. He has like 2 bullets. Oh, the spray transfer and the headshot. Bang, bang.
Just so clean for him, and that will indeed tie it back up. It's 7-7, and now give them a massive advantage going into the last round, too. Look at the buy from Splyce. It's been broken severely. They're on 2 pistols and 3 AKs for this last round all of a sudden.
That's pretty nuts. That was pretty nuts. That brought me back to life. All right, I'm into it.
So a good play from Sean puts Misfits back into a tie situation, and now we have to see if they can complete it and put themselves back into the lead here to end the half. 8-7, same as the last map, just the leader is being reversed.
Doing what works here, focusing a little bit on just the straight up default. I think the early round they play it slow. It's been working out very well for them. And eventually moving into ramp is where I think it's at for Splyce. So. Ooh, Davey also won't get away with this lurk. Sean abusing the shadow right there. Very good stuff.
So sees him coming from a mile away, takes him down nice and easily, and that's outside clear. So Sean's actually going to preemptively rotate down simply because Splyce have been doing that so often. It's actually one of the few rounds we're not going to see play towards the lower site, however. And you can even see Shazam starting to go downstairs too, but to correct myself, it looks like we are going to see a little bit of play heading downstairs. Shazam preemptively just putting himself inside a Toxic and leaving the door open so we can still opt from there. Mitch also sneaking his way down through the vents. Might stay here for a little bit longer to try and catch any rotators, but it's up to these other 3 upstairs to decide how exactly they want to play this, and they'll play it directly into the site. Mitch also ready to go too if he needs to execute, but Sean ready to impact again. It's 1 and done after that. You still have to deal with Shazam sitting inside, and there you go. You open the door. A quick shot from Shazam as he takes out Sempus there. Depo rotates in as well. Nice shot from Mitch to take out Shazam, but Sick will trade after that.
Should always open the door.
Yeah.
Shazam!
So it's going to be 8-7 for Misfits, guys. Stick with us, and we'll be right back after the break with the second half.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, the City of Odense, GeForce GTX, Lenovo Legion, Bedway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, Xfinity, and ESEA.
We are back once again, ladies and gentlemen, and after a little bit of back and forth action in the first half, the Misfits do have a small lead coming off of the first half of Nuke. It's 8-7 in their favor, but we also saw a bit of a good fight being put up by Splyce as well there, especially with their lower hits working so successfully.
Yeah, they kept abusing it, and I like that they use it on the last round. It's kind of like, just go back to what works, and I do respect that like the team is also focusing on like not just doing what works and trying to open it up to like at least 2 or 3 options so that the CTs don't just simply stack the one site. And I guess they had to sacrifice a couple of rounds to, at the end of the day, put together the half that they did. So I think they still have work to do, whereas Misfits have work to do on defending lower, they have work to do on taking upper, and maybe stylistically versus each other. But Splyce definitely had some stuff on that map.
Yeah, now we're going to have to see if they can bring it back a little bit on the CT side. Semphis as well having a little bit more of a little bit more impact, I think, in this game compared to the last map where he was pretty much absent for almost the entire match, to be honest. So hopefully we see a bit more of that carrying onto the CT side too. Because Shazam obviously still alive. We saw it at the end of the round there. Was hiding inside, made that preemptive move to go inside of Toxic and was able to pick up his kill there. And Shazam and quite a few other kills throughout the course of that half were pretty impressive as well. But yeah, we should be starting.
Okay.
So we're slowly going insane. We should be starting here in just a couple moments, and I think we are at the live on 3 now. So let's get into the second half and see if we can see Splyce round it back and try to trade 1-1 for tonight, or if it's all going to be Misfits. Take it, and we'll have another 2-0 in that circumstance.
I don't know if they're going to, but yeah, I think we saw like something similar where it felt like Misfits were doing a great job adapting, just moving into the middle of the half. But again, yeah, it's a lot of elements that are quite similar. They also got the pistol, and they got the pistol on this map. Splyce ended up after the pistol getting putting a couple of rounds together, looking pretty good. The Misfits adapting in certain ways. Overall, yeah, it didn't even seem like Misfits actually won 8 rounds in the half. It seemed like it was more like 9-6 for Splyce. But
Almanac, nice lineup to start it off. He overpeaks a little bit though, so he's going to get traded immediately afterwards. And now, while Splyce is pinching, the problem is Misfits have already gone pretty much for a full push outside. They've got a great amount of control there. They've got a couple guys lined up on top of the Twinkie, too, to smoke inner. And just line those guys up if need be, if they're going to end up going for that play. Splyce actually pretty much ended up calling off their hit into the lobby, too, after they got that first kill and didn't really see anything inside of lobby. So I think they maybe kept one guy back in those halls. Besides that, not as much presence. The molly over top of the shed, just in case anybody was stacked up on there, but we aren't going to see much for presence at all. And now Misfits quickly wrap around. Looks like they're going to be going for an upper hit. Just trying to take that quick control downstairs in hell and heaven before they commit to it, though. But Splyce know what's happening. You can see the smoke inside of heaven. They knew exactly what Misfits was aiming for here.
yeah, this is interesting because it can actually just be like where are they? Oh, they actually made it down lower. Okay. That's actually really cool. They completely baited the attention to focusing on heaven, smoked them out of their own situation. Now they've been able to wrap hell. This pistol round is dope.
And now downstairs is most of the move in here. Shazam is already ready to take the battle. Up close with one and a quick second one, too. Now switching over to USP. Mitch trying to trade, but Devaduvek is going to shut him out before he can get anything done. Same will be said for Davey. And it's a clean round at the end of the day for Misfits as they will take control once again.
That was a sick pistol round, man. Yeah. I like that. And Shazam, you know, just taking advantage of them not knowing exactly what's up. You can see Roka like aiming in the wrong place, and then the second kill is just straight up good aim battle. But yeah, it was like the setup made Splyce seem like, oh, okay, it's for sure going to be a straight up upper hit with a heaven wrap, and then all that did was smoke them out of watching Misfits wrap outside to hell, which is really sick.
So now Shazam wastes no time in pushing out here. He has to suspect something around that smoke. There's no way he's going to, yeah, he's looking towards this. Oh, all right, he's looking the wrong way. Goes a little bit crazy there, but finally Drone reveals himself, and Almanac is going to take him down anyway. Only gets hit once for 2 HP, so it's not a big deal at all. And Shazam continues to look around for a kill that he can get. He's going to have that opportunity in a second, as I think Mitch is going to challenge him. In fact, walks up, takes him a second, but he does get the headshot against him. And not only that, but Roka took down Almanac a few moments before that. Now Davey finding one on top of the shed, and a second one too, with some assistance from Roka to knock out Sean. This is very quickly turned into a bad round for Misfits. And Sick basically put into the arena here now. He's going to try to fight out in a 1v3. No way that's going to happen. Semphis will close out with the final kill and bring it right back to a 1-round disadvantage for his team.
Wow, that just fell apart so quickly. I was like in the mode of thinking about what's going to happen next round, and you know, you just like kind of tune out in that sense, and then all of a sudden it's just like CZ kill, CZ kill, CZ kill. It just piles up and it's overwhelming, and the round ends with Splyce keeping 3 alive as well. They have like tons of money now. They still back them at the part. The only thing worse than losing the pistol is losing the second round after winning the pistol. It's just so bad for your confidence. Like, even though you put the round on the board for the pistol round, it almost doesn't matter. Oh, Sean's missing the vent here. Oh, I think he missed the vent.
He missed it again.
He's gonna try again.
There we go.
Okay.
One took him like 3 tries. But Drone has taken down one player, as is Semphis, both of them getting kills. Shazam, he's gone hunting for heads outside. So Sick, too, with his deagle in hand. If he gets this kill, that's super long range. That'd be impressive, but neither of them meet their mark. So Davey and Semphis pick up 2 more kills, and now it's just Sean Garris, who did make that vent jump, and is going to get Semphis at least. Hey, they give him an AK, too. But it still has to deal with the 1v5.
I mean, he did get that sick ace in the first half, but melted. Wow. I didn't even see him. Roka destroys him. And Splyce even up, 9-9. Might be the first to double digits here in this game. Didn't think we'd see it after that pistol round. Had too much confidence in Misfits T-side, who now have very few options, especially to buy. Eco rounds are quite tough on T-side of Nuke. It's pretty difficult individually making plays. There are some avenues of interest, like Squeaky, for example, like catching. Sometimes you can send someone to HUD, catch someone coming into midi if they don't molly it. But when you're going up against this much utility, there isn't really that option. Teams will always pre-molly just to make sure they avoid losing to rushes. And then when you avoid losing to rushes, everything else is a lot more simple, a lot cleaner.
Sean down at 30 HP as well early on here. I think he got hit by a nade, so he's not going to be faring too well. Drone actually doesn't get a whole lot of damage returned there. Semphis fares better off, though, and in fact takes down 2 players. I think he's picking up from, oh no, he's up top. So picking up from Heaven there. Drone catching Sick, moving inside. Almanac is going to force the plant, and he should be able to get it, too. As he somehow managed to sneak it downstairs, but it's only him now in a 1v5. Looking for at least 1 kill. Not going to happen, but hey, they got the plant, and I think that was their main goal in the round anyway.
Yeah, pretty fortunate to get the plant, like no armor by some blocks on the board, so yeah. Totally good round for that, for sure. Let's say Splyce, with all of those players alive, have tons of money. In a very good place. Misfits will be buying up here. I'm curious what their second rifle round attempt will be. They're not going to be opping on Shazam, even though they could afford it. So that tells me that they're going to have like a more like straight out of spawn setup that's not pick based. And we can kind of see some outside presence. And again, sometimes 1 or 2 smokes can bait out so much in response that no matter what your setup is going to be, this can like help seal up the round later in the round, no matter where you go.
Semphis trying to find some early shots here too, but it's actually Drone that's the first step to bat, more than likely outside. Stuck inside the smoke right now, so you can't really see his position, but when he finally lurks out, he goes right into the face of Debodubek. And Drone himself is actually not ready to take that fight. So it ends up going the way of Misfits.
Oh, wow.
So Devo choosing to sneak over towards this corner here. Now takes down a second player from the CT side that attempted to push back out. And suddenly Misfits just have this massive advantage to play off of that they may have not even expected to get. It's by Splyce overplaying their hand a little bit outside.
Yeah, I actually, I don't know about like Semphis like receding even more when his team is down to 2. A lot of emphasis on Mitch to get these kills. Oh, can only get 1.
But however, nice. Semphis, the fallback works out for him. He almost gets that 3rd kill too under Shazam, peeks into it.
Oh, he got that other one.
Yeah, he gets it, and it was through the other players, I think, so it lines it up for Roka to be able to take down Shazam. And with that, Roka is going to clutch it out for Splyce and make sure that they stay in control of the lead.
Hell yeah, that was a super dope round from Semphis. Well done. And I was wondering like where he was. I thought he was falling back just more farther back into CT to watch the cross passively, but decided to help bitch upper and ended up being a great move. Super proactive of him. Good job with that off. And now Misfits once again saving. And that's from like a 3v5 after Almanac was able to get those 2 kills to start off outside.
Davey even going over to the auto shotgun this time as they know they've broken Misfits again, so he's going to look to stack up some cash this time. He's going to be playing right outside of the doorway there too, and it's already been busted open, so if anybody tries to roll through there, well, it's probably not going to go too well for them.
Yeah, you ever watch Davey's old videos?
Which ones?
Counter-Strike, SH...
No, I don't think so.
Asterisk T, offensive.
No.
He uses the auto shotty a lot. He like gets all these knife kills. These are from like 2014.
Oh,
he used to like go into ESEA pugs and like Zeus people and like flash kill them and jump on their heads and stuff like that. That's who Davey is to me.
Just kills people to mess with them.
Yeah.
Well, it's quiet to start this round off. Misfits not really actually trying to take a whole lot of momentum here. There's good reason behind it too. They don't have the gunpowder to do so, but Drone actually messes up on top of the warehouse there. However, Mitch trades 2 kills back almost immediately. They're going to try to pinch here, but there you go. 1, 2. Doesn't get the 3rd one.
Does he?
No, he didn't get. I think he only got 2.
Oh,
yeah, he got the good 2.
Still good money. Splyce looking pretty strong right now, like overall. Like sometimes you have to survive a round or 2 that's like not going your way and you can still win the game and feel proud of it. Like ultimately clutches do win games in a lot of situations. You can have the perfect setup and still lose. So even on the merit of like a good strategy out the gate, you can lose a round, and sometimes a couple of strong individual players are necessary to win the half. So far Splyce I think overall looked pretty damn good.
Shazam up on top of the box early on, and ooh, Davey actually getting caught this time before he can fall back into secret there. He's going to try and do a lot of damage this time, especially because I think Misfits is trying to play a little bit heavier outside. Drone pushing up though, almost catches Shazam out. However, Shazam escapes just before maximum damage is done and survives it with 63 HP. Now Sean's going to head over top of the Twinkie. Let's see if he can find anybody in the open outside. Nobody really in the open right now, but Drone is sitting behind Red Box there and is going to immediately take him out. Mid-air too. Drone trying to sneak into the smoke. This went badly for him last time, but I think this time it might work successfully. No, denied by Sick. And Devo Duvac also picking up that kill into Semphis doesn't help the case for Splyce either. It's suddenly into a 2v4. And Roka, not a whole lot for him to be seen outside. It looks like he might get a couple battles though. They're going to push into him, so lines up one, almost gets the second. But Devo Duvac will take him down, just leaving Mitch in this 1v3.
Yeah, really tough spot. Outside control gets taken again from Misfits, and they did what worked last time, and I think they reminded themselves that, like, yeah, the upper hit fell apart, but that's because, like, Semphis made a huge hero play, and if not for that, they would have lost the round, or won the round. And now they did the exact same thing, but this time got way more kills outside, so Mitch has to rotate in, gets killed instantly. Top Hut versus Mini, it's super easy. Like, you get to see their feet first every single time.
So Misfits do find a way back into the game again, just as it seemed like they were going to be falling behind, and we can see they're too sick. The quick reaction to stop Drone from killing the hit there. And while they do win that round, they're not necessarily out of the hot seat just yet. You can still see quite a few of their players are low economically, and Splyce still have enough cash to buy as well. If they can break them here, they can put them on another force buy, and Splyce would have an opportunity to break their economy entirely.
Full way up both teams. Setting up into an outside default once again. It worked for Misfits, and the last 2 rounds have also done like tons of damage whether or not they won, so no surprise that they're going for it. And Shazam working that off. No one's actually going to give him a kill. Splyce haven't decided to play anyone quite that aggressively outside, and it's actually Semphis. I'm not sure if he is outside. No. Oh, he's lower. Okay. So this is how they're deciding to watch it, with Drone all the way back in spawn on the forklift.
We have quite a few other players from Misfits that are going to be lining up smokes. I wanted out here too, specifically Sean looking to do that. As they start to roll inside, there's the one blocking off Heaven. I think they might have a few more going in as well, but actually I think it's just that one, because he was the only one up on top and able to toss one in from the roof. The other guys, they lined up for smoke so that they can push into secret, and they'll do just that. While they have 2 other players away from this 3-man push that are also going to be heading towards ramp. They're going to try to take both sides of the map, which is a little bit hard to do, but if they can succeed in it, that's going to be pretty much dominant control over the B-bomb site. And there won't be a lot of room left for a Splyce retake. So the Semphis waiting just at the edge of vent here. He's going to try to take a battle. Sean did fall over at the ramp push by Roka. And Semphis unscoped just at the wrong time.
Oh my god.
Switches over, and now he's stuck in the middle of the site. He has some support from teammates in here, though. But Roka kind of has to do double duty because he's also going to watch from behind him. There's a second player pushing down ramp. Devo's going to take him out. Semphis has a small amount of room to work with. Trenopy got hit a shot. Stuck behind the door now, attempting to pop flash. What? He didn't realize that he was back there at first. Almanek still gets the kill, though. However, Davey moving in. He's got 2 shots. Got hit in the head, I think, but it was through a wall, so it doesn't fully kill him. And now Drone's going to group up with him to try and move back in and retake it. I think they already know that Almanek is sitting back over here in shadow as well. He's gone looking for him, tries the wallbang. Not sure if he can actually do that from there, but still, when he peeks back out, gets the kill. And now it's Sick versus the world as he sits inside of Decon. He's got a small hole in the door to try and shoot through, and he can see the bomb through it as well. But I think these CTs do have a smoke to throw on top of that. A little bit more difficult. Still partially see it spraying into it. No, they're locking up for Sick. So he clutches it out for Misfits. They're going up to 11.
God. I honestly, I don't even know what to say. That's crazy. You know what, though? Like, Semphis fell off 2 different angles without even finding a kill. Like, and he didn't even really have a tell. They were starting to walk lower. He goes in, he falls off his first angle, goes into the vent, and then at the vent, I don't know if he misfired or not, or just came off it early, or if he planned to, but if he did, it's like, why? He's just like giving up more and more space without actually like trying to get a kill when these guys are just walking into each angle. And then, obviously, you know, a couple of whiffs when he gets stuck in control room. Roka obviously also put himself in a bad spot, kind of standing out in the open, expecting to have to take a fight right away. And, yeah, I guess Sick doing the round justice from that perspective.
The counter boost up on top of Twinkie, though, is going to let Davies sneak off at least 1 kill in this. Otherwise, would have just pretty much a full eco round for Splyce. They get a couple upgraded pistols. But I think that's essentially it. And after we see that 1 kill from Davey, 4 other players from Splyce fall. Roka is going to try to sneak up top, but Almanek sees that coming, takes him down. And there we go. There's the tie point, 12-12.
Yeah, however you got to get there, I suppose. Another buy up, pretty standard stuff from both teams. Misfits again have the core of their strategy has been abusing outside. If you compare that to Splyce, it was hitting ramp and abusing lower each and every time. Near the end of like old Nuke, the main way, the best way to default on a round was like to take outside control. That was like one of the only areas that was at least somewhat T-sided, and kind of seeing a reflection of that here. With the appropriate smokes, of course, that can escort you down. Now Roka is going to be the man of the hour. He's going to take first contact lower.
Roka set up for this one too, but regardless, Sean gets that quick headshot to take him down. Early advantage to the Misfits here. And they'll quickly move in and try and molly off the ramp route too, so they can't quickly get back in. Buying time for Misfits to be able to go for a plant. Davey doesn't seem to care about that though, moves in, but still can't get a kill. So close to taking out Debaduvek, but Sick comes in to assist there at the last second. And make sure that Davey gets knocked out. Don't even think we're going to see a retake from these other 3 CTs. They're probably falling back to save, as Misfits should be able to take the lead, going up 13-12.
Yeah, that's rough. Roka had like a decent spot to watch anyone coming down the ramp. He's got the headshot angle on stairs. A lot of people are prepared for it, but Sean, you could see, like, was running forward almost around the corner, so wasn't even set up properly to win that fight and got that like clean headshot and open up the site for his team. So as the only person down here, wasn't even able to delay long enough for Davey to get a proper rotate in. That's why we saw him die like right in front of the smoke, because he recognized the urgency, but he wasn't able to get in a good enough position with the amount of time they had. Misfits, and when you're rushing, that first entry just becomes that much more important.
Swing out from Drone as he gets 1 kill. They are trying to hunt down these last couple of players. It's not going to be too successful though, as they only end up just losing Sick along the way there. So it should be not too much trouble for him to rebuy into it, and now with the lead, well, Misfits are going to want to look to try and close this down. That's why they were hunting for those kills too, as they want to try and break Splyce's economy as quickly as possible, since they still have at least 1 more full buy here.
Yeah, and they're definitely going to anticipate that Splyce buy behind this. They know that there's no chance they won't. Fortunately for Splyce, it was like it's a good enough buy to justify what they're doing. And oh my gosh, the push! Oh no, he's missing! Oh no! Uh-oh.
He picked him like 4 different times, but he couldn't hit like 1 little pellet to do 5 damage. And now Sick kills Roku, tries to push out from the ramp as well. Terrible, terrible news for Splyce here. The only light that they have going for them at this point is that Amanek and Shazam were both brought down so low by that shotgun push. But still, they have to find positions to be able to punish on that. And Misfits, regardless, have been slowed down though. After that chain of events, they're going to split their players up across the map. Amanek is moving around for outside control, probably going to end up slinking over towards Secret, but there is where he's going to meet Drone. I think that's Splyce's first opportunity to get back into this round. This should be an easy kill for Drone, and there you go. No problem finding that one. Mitch also takes down Sean, and just like that, Splyce have the man advantage back in their court. Sick is going to look to change that, though. As he creeps back up, trying to find Mitch, but Mitch is positioned very, very well, just outside of here. Sick, he's gonna check for him. Oh, no, Mitch holds on, waits for him out there, and does indeed come out on top of the duel. All of a sudden, it's just Shazam, and he's only got 15 HP left. Also, only 40 seconds left to get the bomb on the ground. He has to go outside and recover it. It's Sick did just lose it in that battle versus Mitch. So he's gonna creep for it, checking into Heaven first. This will be all clear. Most of the presence from Splyce is indeed outside, but I don't even think Shazam's gonna be attempting this now. Looks like he's making a run towards the top where he can try to hide in the corner, just save this gun for the next round.
Yeah, it's definitely the best idea with 1 HP. No chance he's going to win. So at least Davies' damage was not done in vain.
Yeah.
At least Davies' damage was not done in vain. There's a couple players low. It definitely looked like Splyce still had an opportunity if they weren't able to catch the lurk frags to win the round. So I'm happy for them that they did, because that, I don't know, he was pretty much, he probably would have pushed in and got 2 kills if he just finished that first one off on like the second hit or something like that. So pretty much a tragedy he couldn't with that Mag 7, and now that it's tied up, it's getting kind of crazy.
And so pause is going to be called. It's not a tactical pause, we should mention. It's a technical pause for one of the teams.
Do you get infinite tech pauses? How does that work?
Yes, apparently you do.
Huh, I'd be calling one every round.
I guess so, right? I mean, I don't know how enforceable the whole no talking and tech
I would just
is.
ask my sponsor to give me a bunch of mice and just break them.
Just keep a hammer next to the desk.
Yeah.
my mouse spontaneously exploded for the 4th time this game.
Is there an accident clause? Like, does it have to be?
I don't know. I don't know if you would give reason or not, to be honest. But
we're just riffing these guys. We trust them.
yeah. Well, again, I'm assuming it'll be a quick fix here, and we should be able to jump back into it, and there we go, right on cue. We are heading back into the match. It's tied 13-13. Both teams buying out, essentially, here. Splyce still have a little bit of cash left over, but I believe for the Misfits, if they lose this one, well, yeah, they're not going to be... No, they actually still have a little bit of cash left over themselves. Both teams are pretty much at the same point.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a bunch of rounds in a row for Misfits. Splyce again with that early lead start. Wow, oh, Shazam, this is an opportunity. Sees just the shoulder, and that's gonna be enough. Like, Mitch is out of there. So it's kind of interesting. They've got different people like trying to try their hand at lower. It was Sempis, and then it's Roka, now it's Mitch. Honestly, after watching Sempis and Roka, I have more faith in Mitch, I think.
Yeah, well, Misfits will take their time with the play anyway after they spot a player inside a secret. There's been quite a few guys that have been trying to mess with them around this red box area too, so they throw that molly out just to make sure that doesn't happen. Be very careful probably with checking behind that light blue box that's next to it. As, same thing there. They've been tripped up by that a couple of times so far in this half. But a minute into the round almost, they haven't accomplished much so far, just kind of have gotten a part of outside. You can see Mitch is still waiting for them to push in a secret though, which is probably what they're going to do. It's just a lot of heavy delay on this. Mitch will finally get pushed away again after he's mollied out from the steps. So a lot of great control. This could actually lead into an A-site crunch as well. Just given the time about things here now, and I think that's what this is going to evolve into. So they still have the two guys in lobby. In they go, trying to take quick control. Davey tries to challenge, as does Drone. Both go down very, very fast, though. And Semphis, he's got way downstairs in hell, not able to contribute to stopping the initial push, and Molly to the outside of the site as well. Now Mitch has to try and come back in and assist. Semphis almost taking the shot into his teammate there, but having to fall away, and I believe Mitch is going to make that call with him. Both players are going to save. They're going to let Misfits win the round and trying to save these guns in hopes it leaves them with enough firepower to buy into the next round.
Yeah, Misfits are really good at exploding when it's called, and they put on a lot of good pressure on upper. Mitch all alone looking to save, doesn't even get to save his gun, so that's a big win for Misfits. Tons of money, and actually a 4K for Shazam. Big opening up upper as well by himself. So yeah, nice round of applause.
So where does that leave Splyce in terms of a buy? Not very good as far as we can see here.
This is a round where like SK would have saved, but Splyce are not going to.
Not the restraint.
Like they only have to win 2 rounds to bring it to OT, but they're still buying here just because they don't believe they'll like win an OT. I don't know.
And they just don't want to play the OT.
Yeah, they just don't want to play OT, which is just it's not a winning attitude. I don't think.
So it's left down to 2 pistols for Splyce, along with the 1 op they're able to get for Semphis, probably the biggest buy they have on the table. And then an MP9 and a Mag 7. So very, very scattered buy for Splyce. Decent utility on at least 2 of their players, however. So they still have that going for them, but it is only on those 2 players. It's stacked up in a very big way. So if either of them get taken down early on in the round, that's a lot of money just getting tossed to the ground and potentially into the hands of Misfits if they pick those up.
Yeah, really the worst part is that when you know the other team is going to force, it just makes it a lot easier to play against. Like if you like can guarantee, all right, he's going to force here for sure, then it's like okay, you can just be fully set up for that. But either way, they're going to take it extremely carefully because they know they're low. So it's just going to be a straight up anti-eco. They've got so much control of outside. Shazam watching. Here is Drone. Oh, can Drone be spotted? Oh, he actually does get spotted. Oh, wow.
But on the repeat, will still be taken down. Sean even catching Semphis coming in from hell there. Mitch and Davey getting some kills, however. Davey's stuck in this corner. He's got to be a little bit careful, but he does have a teammate waiting for him behind the doorway. The flash completely blinds him, and now that's Shazam going in, but Davey swings out for 1 more. However, he'll be taken down by Amanek, and that will push Misfits up to 15. Splyce off the force again, but it's going to be even worse than the last round.
Yeah, hey, it came close, I guess, and Davey, because he was able to get those Mag 7 kills, can buy a rifle for himself. So there's a silver lining on a very, very dark cloud. Tough spot for Splyce. They've got 3 pistols, just like last round, 2 or 3. Sean's actually bought a P90. I'm curious to see. I definitely want Sean Cam here. I want to know how he's going to use this.
So that's quickly into lobby for quite a few of these players. Looks like they're going to be playing with outside of it too. Sean probably going to be sticking around here inside of the old control for a little bit. New trophy room. It's got quite a few guys going with them. So it's actually going to be it's straight, probably ramp pressure here, which we haven't seen a whole lot of from Misfits so far in this half. So we will see how this fares. Just obviously got to wait for the smoke to fade away. I think it's only going to be 2 or 3 of their players making the push. The flash outside does not connect onto the initial defender, but there's a second one waiting over here by the Hell Hall. So you got to be careful of that. Sick takes him down, though. Sean follows it up. He's spotted by Davey, but he does go down with the P90. Not getting a whole lot done. I think totally does like 12 damage there. Drone surprises again. Somehow got all the way behind Devo Duvek, almost outside of lobby there. So a bit of a weird turn of events. But it does leave Splyce with a +1 man advantage here. Roka, almost losing himself though, does manage to fall back inside of the lower bomb site. He's not even ready to fight. He's standing out in the open too. He's not trying to hide. Gives him one more kill, down to just 2 now for the Misfits. He's getting pushed out. Bottom of the door swings the other way, and that's gonna kill Roka. But he wastes a good like 5 seconds with that play. They gotta plan it in the open now, just trying to use their mollies to keep the CTs out of the site since they're still -1 on this round. And actually Shazam can't even figure out where he's getting shot from. Drone takes him down. They should know Sick is inside of the new Toxic too. So he's not gonna have much luck hiding out here. Splyce would have to be really poorly set up to mess this one up now. And indeed, they move in. Sick doesn't get a single one of those 3 kills. And we'll see a 14th as we'll go all the way to round number 30.
Yeah, I mean, Drone gets 3 kills. We had that big flank with the Deagle. I'm not exactly sure how he was able to sneak his way behind Amanek, even though Amanek had like barely taken outside yet. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, Roka, it does delay. I mean, he realizes he's dead, and it just wastes a lot of time. So it's that flash in to make sure that they can kill Sick. And even if sometimes the flash doesn't blind somebody, it off-puts their aim. So like you're not like super comfortable, and they have to reset really quickly. So that can have a good effect in that way too.
Well, Misfits do still have enough to buy into this last round here, but it also has reignited Splyce's own economy. And obviously, since they won that last round, gives them enough cash to get one more full buy here in round number 30. And I'll just have to see how well they're able to fare. Next goes right down through the vents, loses half his HP on the way. The rest of Misfits also pushing outside. It's a good thing that Splyce didn't put anyone out here this time, because these smokes could have potentially set someone up to do quite a bit of damage on the flank. Regardless, though, 4 of their players are going to swing through Secret. Omenek's still holding in the vents, obviously. He's not going to be doing anything aggressive for a little bit as he waits to see if any of these rotates will move back in. Roka already sat behind the generator, though. Waits for them to push back out. Fires away, but missed the opportunity for a kill. Now leaps down. That's only right into the crosshairs of Devo Duvek, who's going to take him down 5v4 to start off this plant situation for Misfits. And they should be okay to plant it, so I'm expecting that to go onto the ground. I think they're doing it right now. Yep, Devo Duvek puts it down. Shazam holds, and Decon now is going to swing back out, see if he can find him. They've got to be careful to flank, though. There's 2 players moving in from that direction. Shazam will get mollied. That gives them free reign to crow across. Sean will catch one of them, however. Takes down Semphis, trying to push back in from the ramp room. The others are attempting to group back up towards control as Mitch gets one against Sean. Drone also attempting to snipe 2, but it's not happening. Davey and Drone, the last 2 left standing, and Davey not for very long. Drone, he's going to get one. Spots a second by the vents, but Sick takes it up from behind, and with that, Misfits are going to close out 16-14, and they'll take a 2-0 victory for the evening.
Pretty crazy in the 30th. Kills going back and forth, and again, another intertake to finish it off. So it has been like a story of like a lot of intertakes for both Splyce and Misfits. Misfits, though, I think more commonly took outside control, and we saw them use that in a variety of different ways. And I think definitely if there's a round to look back on, it's that second half pistol where Misfits took outside. That was really cool.
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for us this evening, guys. To close out the night, we're going to send it back over to the analysts one last time.
One last time, here we are talking about 2 teams reaching 16 before the other one. And that, in this turn, Misfits really showing up here and showing that they're very lethal in their own right.
Yeah, I mean, I actually think that Splyce impressed me on that map. The first half, I think Splyce played very well. You can stop smiling at me like that. You can do that anymore.
No, I think Misfits also played really awesome. You can see some of the Sean Gears' slow default kind of outside, just kind of slowly constricting them.
Yeah,
like a python.
He definitely manipulated the CTs really well in the T half, but I think that Misfits needs to go back to the drawing board on their CT half, because it seemed like their rotations were missing like a core component, because the lower bomb side, I think the one that Launders is calling inside, was just super easy to take.
Well, let's take a look at round number 11 now. I do believe you're able to break this one down for us, James.
So, actually, I picked this one out, but it's cool. But anyways, I like this route and move. The smokes are a little off by Splyce, but it kind of catches Sean off guard with the flashes from Davey. Now, at this point, this is where Team Splyce kind of mess up. Once you take over the stairs, you don't want to do what Davey just did and jump over that little choke point where it's by the 2 stairs. It's very dangerous, because as soon as anything happens outside, one of the inside people or lower people will just hide around that back halls. And so I think Misfits do end up winning the round. It ended up being a 1-on-1, but it was a good start. But after they had the initial kill, they kind of were like hesitant, what's going on? They kind of fell back, and I remember Launders in that round saying that they had no one in the lobby, so they had to re-clear the lobby
all the time.
So like a good start, but the mid game is kind of like, you know, it's just kind of not organized as much.
Yeah,
as
it's
it would
kind of
be.
like that feeling when you like default all in the same direction on accident, and then you need to retake everything, and then you just have no time. Yeah, I think that path was really cool.
Let's take a look now, not so much at the mid game or the late game. Let's look sort of at the first round of the second half, where they're able to sort of reset and kind of maybe get another vantage point here. Let's take a look at Misfits T-Piston.
Yeah, so this is the one that Launders was actually lauding. He's like, oh yeah, that was a really cool strat. So we see Sean setting up with the Heaven Smoke right here. So when does it land? I think it lands at like 111, 110. And he sets up the top hut molly, right? So it's kind of like inverted how you would do it in the order, right? Because the smoke on Heaven's going to end soon, right? But he sends people outside to wrap. And interestingly enough, Davey happens to have a smoke that he refreshes on that Heaven smoke. So originally Misfits designed this to be a Heaven wrap strat, but Davey smokes it off, so they call the audible, and it ends up working out perfectly, right? Devo, Duvek, and Sick, you know, end up not going through that smoke, right? Because they're probably going to die, and then they end up planning lower. So it's really cool strat. I think it could have worked either way. And, you know, Big Air's going hard in the paint as usual.
Big Air's going hard in the paint, you know, that next level, right?
Yeah.
But even, you know, let's flip it now and look at Davey. I mean, even in this entire matchup, Davey has definitely shown through. I mean, he's definitely shown us the viability of the auto shotgun here on Nuke still. So let's talk a little bit about Davey and his sort of impact in this matchup.
He's insane. He's literally has no emotions. He's aggressive. He's peaky. He takes the fight to the person, and he has really good aim. And it really been he wins a lot of duels.
Yeah, I think he was top fragging by far on the first map. You know, and top fragging is what it's all about, right? Who cares about... I mean, let's be honest. As long as you're not in the red on the HLTV rating, you're going to get followers and people are going to love you. So,
I mean,
it's true.
We're out here speaking realities, I suppose. And while I'm doing that, we should probably elaborate a little further into this round where Sick really goes off. Let's take a look now at round 23.
Yeah, so Misfits do like a nice default here, and they don't actually put up that outside wall of smokes. The red, I call it the red wall because it connects to the red wall instead of the diagonal mini wall. And they do it late round, right? So this means that Splyce is not playing aggressive, and Misfits are kind of in their head at this point, right? Like when a CT side is going to allow you to not exchange any gunfire for the first minute of the round, that kind of tells you what their mindset is. And I think Launders actually was saying Semphis falls back off of 2 super favorable angles in this round, and neither of those favorable angles leading to a kill. Misfits win this round very closely by the 1v2 by Sick through the door at the very end, right? So those 2 missed kills by Semphis could have been the match. Not saying, you know, it's all in him. I'm just saying, like, you know, this is a great strat by Misfits, but, you know, Splyce were in position to take the round, and they just couldn't, you know, seize the opportunities that they had. Another thing to note, not in terms of the strat, but just in terms of the meta on Nuke, is that you saw a lot of holes blown in the door of decon room down here, and also upper squeaky. And I think those, you know, people are starting to play kind of like micro games in using the holes in the doors. So just watch out for that, and you can use it to your advantage as well.
Yeah, it's all about the holes.
Yeah, in the door.
In the doors, of course.
In the doors. In the doors.
Not generalized expression of holes there. And one hole not to forget about that you should all quickly follow in is youtube.com/ESLCS, where you can load up the VODs of all the matches that you just watched. And perhaps you don't know all those score lines. We're going to be jumping into those and taking a look at those real quickly here in our post show. And kind of bring full circle today's matchups, because right now, believe it or not, we're not at the end of the season, but every little match counts. So let's just take a look at match day number 9 as it unfolded. Guys, do we see anything here that surprises us?
The score lines are pretty similar.
They all have 16.
Yeah, they all have 16.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. You know, it's every team's working really hard, and they all just want to get to 16 to get that win. It's pretty crazy stuff.
And sometimes there's a roadblock at 15, and you're just kind of held there. Let's go ahead and flip it over now to the standings and see how North America is unfolding. You're going to note Optic Gaming at the top there, 8-2, followed by an SK, and now a Misfits at 8-2 as well. So a good night for Misfits. And, you know, seeing them at the top versus to where they were middle of the season last year, Starch different team.
Hopefully they
Has
don't
that
blow it.
table not been sorted? Because Misfits should be in second now, right? Or no, they should. Yeah, they should be in second because they're round differential.
Yes, that would be numbers.
Yeah, I'm being a stickler here. I'm actually gonna have to ask you guys to stay around for an extra hour to go over.
All right, okay. Let's bring it down now to the European side of things. We're gonna see a strong Fnatic right there, 7-1, followed by North, FaZe, Big, and Astralis. But looking towards the lower end of the pack, you know, we see a Navi there at 2-4, and Ninjas Pajamas even so much more. I mean, Ninjas Pajamas themselves certainly making strides towards going back to the way of old, where they're known to be this powerhouse team, where they're known to be this sort of force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, winning the BO3 against, I think it was Gambit, a 3-map series thriller with Draken keeping him in that second map on Overpass at DreamHack Malmo was huge. I think that was like the turning point for NIP. It's like, we can beat a team that's legit in a BO3. So, you know, good things ahead for the one of the most storied teams in CSGO.
Yeah, and also Fnatic back in top. They got rid of Olaf, and now they're #1.
Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it?
That's an insane way to go about things. But before we go anywhere, I want to remind you guys at home to get involved in this and vote for your favorite plays and players over at PaySafe, or excuse me, with the PaySafe Card fan vote, which you can do over at paysafecard.com/fanvote. And again, on the other side of things here, let's also kind of thank someone that's really kind of make this all happen. That would be Intel. Go over to Intel.com, check out their new Intel Core X series processors, 18 cores of pure gaming power. I wish I could get my hands on one of those bad
Then I would not do the dual PC stream that screws up every single day. I might have to be able to do it on one PC if I had that.
Well, you know what? We're getting closer and closer to Christmas time. But before that, I promise you, we're going to be ending the broadcast right here, right now. We'll be back next week.
Toodles.